something most people refuse to accept. You are not calm because life is going well. You are calm because you trained yourself to be. And if you have not done that training yet, then you are not actually calm. You are just lucky. And luck always runs out. Most people move through life completely unprepared for it. Not because they are weak. Not because they lack intelligence. But because they have been conditioned to believe that strength is something you discover in the moment of crisis, that courage appears when danger arrives. That clarity comes naturally when the pressure is high. It does not. Think about this. When a storm hits a tree with shallow roots, it does not matter how tall that tree grew. It falls. And most human minds are exactly that. Tall on the outside, shallow beneath the surface. We spend years building careers, relationships, opinions, identities, but almost no time building the internal structure that holds all of it together. So when life tests us, and it always does, we react from whatever emotional state we happen to be in that day. Not from wisdom, not from principle, from instinct, from fear, from ego. And then we wonder why we said the wrong thing, made the wrong decision, lost something we could not afford to lose. The human brain was not designed for modern complexity. It was designed for survival, and survival does not require reflection. It requires speed. This is why when someone criticizes you, your chest tightens before your mind even processes the words. Why when plans fall apart, panic arrives before logic. The nervous system reacts. The mind catches up later. Sometimes much later. Pause for a moment and consider what this means. If you have not trained your mind to slow down that gap between stimulus and response, then you are essentially running on ancient programming in a modern world. You are making 21st century decisions with a prehistoric nervous system, and no amount of ambition compensates for that. The Stoics understood this over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, a man who governed an empire, commanded armies, and watched people he loved die, wrote privately in his journal not about power, but about the management of his own mind. He wrote not to perform, but to remind himself, to train himself every single day. He understood something most modern people are still struggling to accept. The external world is largely beyond your control. The internal world is not. And your entire life, every relationship, every decision, every outcome flows from that internal world. Epictetus said it plainly. There are things within our power and things that are not. Opinion, motivation, desire, what we avoid. These are within our power. Everything else is not. This is not pessimism. This is precision. This is a man drawing a clear line between what deserves your energy and what does not. But here is the trap most people fall into. They know these ideas. They find them interesting. They save the quote. They watch the video, and then they return to their life completely unchanged, because knowing a concept is not the same as embodying it. Carl Jung said that people will do almost anything to avoid genuine self-examination. Because self-examination is uncomfortable, it requires you to look at your patterns honestly, to notice how often your reactions are driven not by reason, but by wounded pride, by old fear, by the need to be right. Look honestly at your life. How many times has your first reaction been the wrong one? How many conversations escalated because you responded before you thought? How many opportunities disappeared because anxiety spoke before clarity could arrive? The mind untrained is a liability, regardless of how intelligent you are. The shift is not about becoming emotionless. That is a misreading of Stoicism that has become unfortunately common. The shift is about building a delay, a space between what happens and how you respond, a discipline of pause. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, which means the first battle is never out there. It is in here, in the interpretation, in the story the mind constructs, in the seconds after something goes wrong. Train that space, expand it, make it wider every day. Because inside that space lives your freedom, your power, your ability to choose who you are under pressure, rather than simply revealing who fear made you. Imagine this situation. You receive criticism at work. Not gentle feedback. Harsh, public criticism. In front of people whose opinions matter to you. The untrained mind floods with shame and defensiveness. It constructs arguments. It rehearses responses. It either collapses or attacks. Neither is useful. The trained mind does something different. It pauses. It asks, is there truth here that I can use? It separates the delivery from the content. It recognizes that how someone delivers criticism says more about them than it does about you. This is not weakness. This is surgical thinking in the middle of emotional pressure. Now consider social comparison. Someone your age achieves something significant. A promotion. Recognition. Success that feels adjacent to your own ambitions. The untrained mind contracts. It compares. It diminishes either them or itself. The trained mind observes. It remains curious rather than threatened. It understands that someone else's advancement is not your retreat. That life is not a competition with a single prize. These are small moments, but they are the moments that define character, not the grand decisions, the small, daily, unwitnessed ones. If this kind of thinking resonates with you, consider subscribing. This channel is built for people who take their inner life seriously. Aristotle believed that virtue was not a feeling, but a practice. He called it hexis, a disposition developed through repetition, through choosing the right action, not once, but consistently, until the right action becomes natural. This is profoundly different from the modern idea that character is fixed, that you either have discipline or you do not, that you are either mentally strong or you are not. Aristotle said no. You become what you repeatedly do. Socrates spent his entire life questioning assumptions, including his own. His most famous insight was not a theory. It was an admission. That genuine wisdom begins with recognizing the limits of what you know. With intellectual humility that makes you open rather than rigid. And rigidity, in any system, is always a vulnerability. The mind that cannot bend will eventually break. So ask yourself this honestly. When was the last time you responded to difficulty with genuine composure? Not suppression, not avoidance, but actual, grounded calm? When did you last examine a belief you hold without looking for reasons to defend it? When pressure arrived in your life recently, did you meet it with the mind you have built? Or with the mind you have simply inherited from your past? These are not comfortable questions, but they are the right ones. And the people who are willing to sit with them, even when the answers are unflattering, are the ones who actually change. Here is what most people never see. The person who trains their mind before life tests them accumulates an invisible advantage. Invisible because it does not show up on a resume. It does not photograph well. It does not trend, but it compounds. In every difficult moment they navigate with clarity, rather than reaction, builds the muscles slightly stronger. Every time they choose reflection over impulse, the pause gets wider. The response gets more precise. The emotional cost of adversity gets lower, and over years, over decades, this person begins to move through life in a way that others cannot explain. They seem unshaken by things that break other people. They make better decisions under pressure. They attract trust because people sense stability in them. Real stability, not performance. This is what the Stoics were building, not a philosophy of detachment, a philosophy of preparation. A training methodology for the human mind. The world will test you. It always has. It always will. The question is not whether the test will come. The question is who you will be when it does. Not who you hope to be. Not who you perform being on ordinary days. But who you actually are when something you care about is at risk. When someone challenges you. When the plan collapses. When you are tired and the pressure is real. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the only training that matters, not the training of the body, though that has value. The training of the mind. The slow, disciplined, daily practice of becoming someone who does not simply react to life, but meets it. Begin that practice now, not because life is difficult, but because you are capable of something far beyond what reaction can produce. Train before you are tested, That is the Stoic way, and more than that, it is simply the intelligent one. Like, share, and subscribe my channel for more videos. Perforia.